it's literally like going to the nicest steakhouse that you've ever been to and asking for your food in a styrofoam to-go container. Like it's
Yeah.
not about the food. Like it's about the experience. It's about the service.
That was just a little fun thing we just found here on the thing. Hey, what's going on, guys? My name's Jason,
I'm Tyler.
and we just got a little podcast going on here. So invested in some equipment. We're really excited to get this going, and I hope you guys are too. So yeah.
Yeah, definitely. It's a project that I've been excited about for quite a while. It definitely took some time to get all the equipment gathered with all the headache that is COVID, but we finally have a good setup. We're excited to share that with you. And kind of moving forward, one of the things we'd like to do today is just reach out, kind of show you guys what we're planning on doing, and then also give the floor to you to like offer up some topics that you want to hear us talk about, maybe suggest some guests that you'd like to see on the show. We think that'd be really fun.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we have a tons of ideas that we want to do. We won't spill the beans right now, but if you guys have any suggestions at all, or any guests, like Tyler was saying, comment them below. Let us know. We definitely want to know, and we want to make this podcast as awesome as possible. One thing we were talking about is we don't want it to be boring, but we do want it to be educational and help some people out. So we want it to still have our fun character to it, but also be, educational and learning as well. So still have our good humor, but also, be able to help out.
For sure. I think one of the ideas that we like too is, especially in this time where everything's kind of crazy and uncertain with our small business owners and all of that, it'd be a great time to kind of reach out and get some of our friends that are small business owners out here and just kind of chat about their business and explain to everybody what they have to offer. I think that'd be a really good way to start using this platform.
All right, so the next thing that we want to talk about is just the big elephant in the room, man. COVID-19. What are your initial thoughts on COVID-19? How are you doing, and everything like that?
COVID-19 sucks. There is no way around it. COVID sucks for everybody. Well, maybe not Walmart. Walmart's probably making a killing, and Menards and all the big box stores, but we won't get on that. But kind of like basically with COVID, obviously the biggest frustration is not being able to get in the gym and see everybody every day, not being able to really coach like we're used to coaching and all of that. So, yeah, I mean, COVID it is a problem, but obviously it's not unique to us. It's a worldwide problem. So, basically, like where I'm at with it is, watching the news on a regular basis, trying to get to a point where like we at least can formulate a plan, because at this point we have no details or very limited details. So
Yeah.
that's kind of the general overview of it.
Yeah, and I think like that kind of goes into the reopening plan and moving forward with that, because everything is adapting on the fly so fast. You have to be able to adapt and move and take action, but be able to just be versatile and everything. So like with the reopening plan, like we thought it was going to be May 1st, like we thought it was going to be, this week, and it's not. So it's like pushing it back. And then if we're lucky, will it even be this month? So being able to adapt to those situations, and then, looking in the future of like, how will that reopening look? Will it be multiple stages of a reopening for a gym? Will we be wearing masks? Those type of things.
Definitely. And I think like you nailed it when you said like, we were ready to be open May 1st. And so like a lot of the game plans and a lot of the strategy with dealing with it, we're kind of in that like, hey, this is going to be kind of that 4 to 6 week shutdown game plan, which, if we can tread water for 6 weeks and then get back at it, no big deal. Obviously that's not the case. So now it's looking more and more like we're going to be shut down, at the very least halfway through this month, but it's looking like
that sucks, man.
Yeah.
Being closed.
It's the worst.
Yeah, if you look at our situation, I mean, we opened on June 1st, so like we had a bunch of momentum going, a bunch of steam going, and then just boom, like COVID-19 came, and it really sucked. It really did. I mean, my position here, like I was just coming on full time, and like we were super excited for that, and then we had to shut down everything. So,
boom. Yeah, and I mean that's exactly right. Like we had tons of momentum, you know, coming off of the new year, about to wrap up our first full year in business.
Yeah.
And like what we accomplished in this first year is nothing small. I mean, we definitely became one of the largest CrossFit gyms in the area in a very, very short amount of time. And like not only like size isn't everything. Like I believe we had the community, we had the quality and coaching, we had, you know, everything that you'd expect from a good CrossFit community. And all of that was trending up like super hardcore. Like we even had to add a third Saturday class, which is huge at 6 a.m. Crazy.
Yeah.
But I mean, we had all these positive things, and then boom, our knees got knocked out from underneath of us. And, you know, it's definitely not going to stop us at all. I mean, if anything, it's given us a chance to take a deep breath. And then we've also been able to ramp up everything that we're doing. So like our athletes, when they do finally get to come back to our gym, I mean, they're coming into a much nicer facility.
Man, let's talk about that. Some of the updates that you've been doing here, that we've been doing here, starting with the first one, the big one, you know, painting the whole facility. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, I mean, the entire our entire gym has now been painted, and so like that's something that for a lot of people that might not sound like a big deal, but for us, I mean, we were working out in an old, I mean, this is an old tool and die shop, so it definitely had that industrial kind of grungy feel, and when we painted it, it's like the big leagues now. Like you walk in there and you're like, I'm gonna PR everything I touch.
It's awesome. It's bad to the bone. I mean, the pillars were like this dark red, like dingy color, and like there was like this dark pale yellow, almost like dirty mustard. Like it was bad. So like now everything, like the walls are gray, the pipes and the beams are black, and it's sleek. It's awesome. I'm excited. Like when our members come back, it's gonna be really awesome to see their reaction and to be excited to work back out and like in this facility again.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it truly feels like going from, you know, the minor leagues to the big leagues. Like it's like putting on that uniform for the first time when you walk in the room. And like I'm excited to see our members get to experience that. And that was just one project, right? So like that's just one thing that we've done. So like our rig is larger, it's bigger, better, stupider, and crazier than ever, which is great. Like that's awesome. Something I've always wanted, was like a rig that makes a statement when you walk in. And it certainly does that. So we have a rig, it'll hold more bodies. And the big project, like what we're really working on, in addition to these other projects, is expanding our floor space. So we showed the preview of kind of our new room over there on the side, and that is a huge deal. Like it's 1,800 square foot, maybe a little bit more, but it's what that does for us is it allows us to be a lot more versatile. It allows us to do more than just the big group classes, and so that's going to take us some time to fully finish that project, as cash flow and all that has been restricted through this time. But once we start getting things up and rolling again, that'll be kind of all hands on deck to finish that project. And that's just going to take this gym to the next level. We'll be able to offer different types of classes, more one-on-one type situations and classes. Mm-hmm. So yeah. So like painting the gym was a huge one. You know, cleaning out the side room there for future expansions is super awesome. And then adding some more equipment, adding the rig is awesome. We got these nameplates that go at the top of the rig. Sick. And we posted a little teaser on Instagram, but they go at the top of the rig, and it's badass. Can't wait for everyone to see it. Definitely. So. Yeah, I mean, that as far as the floor is just a lot more flexible now with, expanded mat and coverings and all that sort of thing. So, like, our area should be a lot more functional. We're able to take time and really think through, like, how we want to use the space, kind of reorganize the layout as far as, you know, where things happen, but then also just creating, like it's fun because we're able to have time to create instead of having to react. So like for a lot of people, this is a really hard time. And I mean, it is for us and, you know, all things business, but as far as like for our art and our craft, it's like the best thing in the world because we get to like really step back, think about what we want to do, refine our knowledge and all that.
Yeah. Awesome. So next thing we kind of wanted to talk about in the whole COVID-19 situation is just current frustrations, where it is just being a box, you know, in this situation, being closed, members, you know, reaching out to you, asking when we're going to be open constantly. And, you know, are we doing this? Are we doing that? What are just maybe like a couple big frustrations right now? And, you know.
Yeah, I think the hard thing, I mean, there's all different levels of anything, right? So you have gyms of all shapes and sizes. For us, one of our big things is like we've always we've aimed for one thing and one really excellent product. And so like our group classes, our community, that is our product. That is who we are. That is what we do well. And so in an environment like that, like this, it's literally like going to the nicest steakhouse that you've ever been to and asking for your food in a styrofoam to-go container. Like it's not about the food. Like it's about the experience. It's about the service. And so like that's us. And so it's really hard for us to be that product. And then to have to make the decisions that like, how do you keep a community engaged? How do you keep people active and things like that? And the hard thing for us is like it really comes down on like, hey guys, like it's going to take some personal ownership. It's going to take some personal discipline to stay fit in this time because we kind of elected to still put out we still do our workouts. We still put those out there. And we have a really good response to the number of people that are doing those, which is awesome to see. But I mean, there's a lot of gyms I've seen doing the Zoom classes and things like that, and it's just not our product. And so rather than do something like that not very well, we've elected just to stay true to who we are and what we do, and spend all of our efforts in refining that process. So when we do open, we will be even better than we were before. So.
Yeah, definitely. And that goes with everything. I mean, just investing in this stuff right here in the podcast equipment, being able to, you know, reach people outside of our walls. So whether if this podcast, you know, can reach other people, maybe, you know, at other gyms, other boxes, or just anybody really, and just be able to have that impact, you know, that's what I think a lot of this time has given us to be able to do. So,
definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like, also like with that, it's not that we want to speak down on businesses that are able to do Zoom classes and things like that. Like that's awesome. We like applaud their willingness to do that. We applaud like even the quality that they've been able to do it is great. There's a lot of companies doing really big, really awesome things with those tools. We just know that that's just not us. And we're also very new in this business. Like we just mentioned before, like this is our first year. And so we're still in that stage of defining who we are, where a lot of gyms are able to pivot from where they are to something new. And like in a lot of cases, it's just treading water, and if we tread water, we die. Like that's not a luxury that we have, where we can just like pivot to tread. Like we have to continue to grow. We have to continue to put, you know, all hands on deck and going all in on these ideas. That's the only way that we're going to come out on top and achieve the things that we want to achieve.
Yeah. I'll tell you one thing that really made me take a deep breath and miss the gym was that first Saturday we were out of the gym.
Yeah.
I tell you what, if you have never been to one of our Saturday classes, it is one of the best mornings, one of the best hours as coaches here. It's awesome. I mean, we pack it in here. We've had, 40 people classes, and I mean, the energy is unreal. If you've never been to one of our Saturday classes, it's like nothing else. It's a party. It's a celebration. Like, we all have fun. We all smile. The workouts are hard. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, definitely.
But it is a good time. And that first Saturday that we were not in here, like, I mean, I posted in like our Facebook group, and still try to, keep the engagement and everything. But like, man, that like as a coach here, like missing that Saturday, it was just like, man.
Yeah. And like for me, that's every single week. Saturday is that's my battery charger. Yeah. So like, the weeks can get long when you've been coaching. I mean, I've been coaching for over 10 years and like the weeks drag sometimes. And for me, every Saturday here for the past year has been this huge boost of energy. It's like, oh yeah, that's why I do this. Like, that's what it's about. And you cannot replace that energy. You cannot replace like that group of people coming together for one goal every like week in and week out. Every week they're there. And that was the thing, like when we first started having those big classes, it was like, oh, this is cool. It's not going to sustain, like this won't happen every week. And like it swelled and it swelled and it swelled. And so like that is our product. It's kind of like the NBA, like their product is filling a stadium, or any professional sport. Like what would sports be without the crowd? And that's kind of how our business is. Like, what would it be without the person to person interaction? Mm-hmm. So like, COVID really is like a huge pain in the butt for that. Like it totally takes our best product and shelves it. So, I mean, that's definitely by far my biggest frustration is because you can't duplicate that. And there's a lot of people that say, yeah, we have really great online presence. And I'm like, yeah, that's cool. It's not the same. Like, right. And a lot of those places probably didn't compare whatsoever to what we do on a Saturday. And so like, that's one of those things. Like for us, it's just more important to stay true to ourselves and keep pursuing the things that we want to pursue. And then on the other end of all this mess, hopefully we'll come out on top.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Financial situations.
Boom.
You got it on there.
Yeah. I mean, it's no lie. Like COVID for any small business is a financial nightmare. I think like there's a lot of good things happening out there. Like we already mentioned, like big box stores and things like that. Like the industries, some industries are booming, right? And that's great. Like I think that's a good thing. Like it'll start to balance out eventually. For us though, it's like we're unique. Like we can't offer a drive-through. We can't offer a drive-through workout. Right. And so like being able to create revenues is a really tricky thing right now. So that's kind of one of the things we're trying to do. Like we're not here saying, hey, give us all your money. We're here saying like, hey, this is us. We're looking to diversify our revenue streams. We're looking to get into some other things. Thanks to you, we have an awesome media presence. So like having that presence and just expanding on it, I think is a really good way to grow this business. And that's something we're definitely going to spend some time on. It's kind of fun. Like there's all these different, like, I try and stay off of the social media kind of quite a bit right now myself as the owner, just because it takes me down these rabbit trails where I'm like now in a negative headspace. And it's a lot better for me to kind of stay back a little bit. And then think about like what I think to be important and what I value. But like the financial situation, like it is stressful. Like, we have, in addition to myself, we have 3, coaches here that, yourself included, that depend on this for a livelihood. Yeah. And so it's really stressful. Like a lot of the relief that was out there, it's great, and it's available to a lot of small businesses, and I think a lot of businesses should be taking advantage of it. I mean, it's, this is a once-in-a-lifetime situation, and this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. One of the things for us that sucked is, we've only been in business when this whole mess hit. We hadn't even been, 10 months.
Yeah.
So the trouble is a lot of the multipliers that they used had to do with averages. And if you look at a 9-month-old business, 6 months of that was like a free-for-all trying to figure out, how to get the doors open and how to keep them open. Like when you look at the averages on that, it is straight junk. So, I mean, like it'd be great if we were 2 years in, like some of my other friends are doing awesome in their gyms. Because of the relief that was offered to them, and that's awesome. Like, I applaud them. I think one of the big things that this has shown is how important structuring your gym like a business is. There's a lot of gyms out there that are like, I don't know, hobby gyms, I guess. So they're set up less like a business and more like a club. And the reality is the Small Business Administration isn't going to help out small clubs. They're helping out small businesses. And so structure is proving to be like a really important thing as far as how quickly you get paid and if you get paid at all. So, yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things. Like, we're thankful for the help that we did get, but it definitely isn't as helpful as it could be if we were, a year or two in. So, but, we're doing all right. We're doing the best that we can. Our gym is still growing as far as, we're still improving. We're not stopping. And, I'm all in. I think you're all in, and Lauren and Kara, like we're all in. And so the cool thing is we got a young crew. That's awesome. So,
we're excited to be back.
Yeah,
like,
we're pumped. It's gonna be great.
We thought there's a very small chance we could be back in on May 1st, and like we have meetings every week, and like the energy was building back up. We're like, oh man, May 1st, like we're gonna do this. Let's get these rules out of the way. Let's figure out what we got to do, and like we're gonna be back into it. So like now, like we can feel that momentum start to come back. Like even though we didn't get to open, this week, it's like, oh well, is it gonna be May 16th? Is it gonna be the end of May? Like we're itching to get back at it.
Yeah, it's kind of been like, in some ways, it's kind of like a vacation, right? Like, like we've been kicking ass for a year, and early wake ups and all of that. You were working like freaking 5 jobs at once, or something stupid. So like we've all been all in to get this business up off the ground, and now that we're up off the ground, we kind of had this COVID vacation, and now it's like that vacation where you're like, all right, I miss my house, like I miss my toilet, my shower, my bed, like and that's the reality we're in right now. It's like, let's just get this over with, let's get back to work.
I tell you what, waking up early is going to be hard. I used to, back when we were open, I used to be able to wake up at like 4:00 or 4:15 or whatever to come in. And now it's like 7:30 and I'm like, do I have to get up? Like, is this like, how did I get up at 4:15 for the 5 a.m.? Like, real. There's no way.
That's definitely going to be tough. But yeah, I think like those are those things that as tough as it'll be, it's like also like, yes, I can't wait for that.
Can't wait.
Like, and so like, I mean, just little things. Like we spent some time, like one of the things we spent a lot of time with is I brought in somebody to help. Cody came in and helped us with our sound. So like now when you're in the room, like not only does the paint make you feel like an all-star, now it's like the right amount of sound. It's not like this piercing loud noise in your ear. It's like this perfectly like balanced sound that's going throughout the gym, which is just awesome. So like things like that we're starting to improve on, like those are little details that are going to make a huge difference when we get back to it. And I think you'll definitely see in our coaches. I mean, like another one is like Lauren, like she's not here right now, but like when you think about the workload that Lauren had on her as well, like you had a huge workload in life, but she had a huge workload just in this building. And now we're going to be able to spread that work out evenly across a full team. So I think that's going to be a really, really great thing when we get back to it.
Yeah,
for sure. Yeah. Like another really awesome thing about COVID, if there is such thing, it's the online presence that we're seeing. It's CrossFit in its rawest form. Like, that is what a lot of people don't realize is like, that's the CrossFit I know.
Yeah.
Any of the OGs that have been around forever, like this is how CrossFit was founded, like people swinging rocks and people, running with logs and things like that. I mean, this is the original kind of CrossFit. Like, hey, there's a workout online, find a way to do it on your own. And like, submit a score. Like that is CrossFit in its truest form when it first started like taking off. And so like that's one of those memories I have that shapes the product that we have today. Like we didn't used to have these awesome facilities. Like the gym that I'm in now is, our gym is by far and away the nicest gym I've ever worked out in. And like that's a luxury. And like it's really cool because right now, because of COVID, people now have to they have to like appreciate it, when you're like handed a nice car every, 6 months or something crazy like that, you don't really take care of it. But if you like only have this one, or if you realize like what it's like to not have a car, like if you have to ride your bike everywhere, like that car becomes awesome. And like, I think that's one of those things I'm most excited about when we get back to it, is like people will really appreciate how great it is to have a gym, how great it is to have a nice facility and be surrounded with like-minded people that inspire you and push you to be better every day. But like, that's the best thing about this, it's like this giant like pause and like reassess like what your priorities should be, like reassess like how cool it is that you get to go to the gym. Like, who the heck cares if you're at the bottom of the leaderboard? That's not what matters. It's like you did the workout, you sweat, you did a version of it, like people like message me like, hey, I don't have dumbbells. Like, hey, you got rocks, you got shoes.
We've seen some really creative things too. I mean, people were just having fun with it. There's a couple of wine bottle things, and then some other things too. I think we saw like a propane tank. Was that like Christina or something?
That was great. Yeah.
Coming up with a propane tank and doing some swings and stuff.
Hopefully it was empty, or
I don't know, a little dangerous.
I don't know if those explode or not, but I mean, you have the whole idea. Like,
but on the right track.
I mean, it's great. And that's kind of the idea, is like CrossFit can be done anywhere. CrossFit does not need a rower. CrossFit does not need a barbell. Like, you can be fit anywhere. And like the community and the nice gyms, that is like the cherry on top. And like, we definitely want to get back to that. We definitely miss it. But it's a great thing to like give people that perspective of, this is really what CrossFit's about. And this is why this is a hugely popular workout trend. Like, right, like we don't need machines. Like, you can get fit anywhere doing anything. And so I mean, in that respect, COVID is a great thing, and all the other ones it sucks.
No, that's good. So is that about wrap it up?
I think that's kind of the main things we just kind of wanted to talk about. Again, one of the things we want is to hear from you guys. We definitely want to know what you want to hear about. So put some comments in here. Let us know what you think. Let us know if this is something you're excited about. Danton, please be nice. But that's mostly it. I'm just excited to get back to it.
So today we went a little bit longer, probably coming up around 25, 30 minutes, but they'll probably be a little bit shorter, vary in length a little bit, but we just thought we had to get some things out, talk about a few things, and give it a trial run. So
For sure.
We hope you like it, and keep watching.
Yeah.